Welcome back to Trashman MMA, where today we're going over fights to make after Whittaker versus RDR. Most of the winners will be matchmaking. Some of the losers will be matchmaking. Let's get straight into it, bruh. First off, RDR, who got a split decision victory over Robert Whittaker. Very close, but it was close in a way that wasn't close. Like I think RDR very clearly won. I still haven't seen what judge gave what rounds to Robert Whittaker. I would like to see that. But RDR got a split decision win over Robert Whittaker. We all know what's next. It's been very apparent since the second this guy came into the UFC that they are not here to make him go on a 8-fight, 6-fight win streak to get to the belt. I think they're giving this boy a title shot immediately. Maybe they'll give him Adesanya, but I think they're giving him the winner of 319 Dricus du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev. I think it's the only real thing to do, you know? You don't want to give RDR Israel Adesanya. Oh, I don't know, man. This is hard because you have Nasruddin Imavov. You have Nasruddin Imavov versus Kyle Barajo taking place soon. I think those guys are rightful contenders, but I think RDR can really swoop right in there to get the winner of this. But we'll really see. We'll really see how things pan out. He could get the winner or the loser. I don't know, but I think they're really eyeing a title shot for this boy. Now that I really think about it, it doesn't really make all too much sense, to be honest. I think you can give him an Adesanya as well. I think you should give him an Adesanya because you have the Mavov. You don't really want you don't really want RDR to sit out for too long, but you don't want him to lose either. You know what I'm saying? Like you want another contender after Nasruddin and Kyle Barajo. You want those guys to have their fight. You want to get that title shot out the way, and you want that RDR title shot as well. So, if not the winner of this, you could maybe give him the loser, or the loser of Kyle Barajo versus Nasruddin Imavov, which is a iffy. You know, it's an iffy one. So anything can really happen in the top 5 area that's where RDR will be placed. So a little tricky to matchmake this guy, but you know. A very high level fight is in this guy's near future. This guy's not fighting down whatsoever. But on to the next. Robert Whittaker, the loser of the main event. If you guys paid attention to my fight to make after UFC 318, you guys will know who I matched Robert Whittaker up with. And that would be none other than Brendan All-In Allen. Got a win over Marvin Vettori recently, who in my opinion, not even in my opinion, is literally one of Robert Whittaker's best wins in his recent career. He has a win over Paulo Costa, Marvin Vettori, and Ikram Aliskerov. Those are his last 3 wins. Brendan Allen just put a masterclass on Marvin Vettori for 15 minutes straight, in my opinion. I think this is a fight you do. Brendan Allen is looking to get his name out there. He lost recently to... maybe don't give him a top fight, but nah, you can because Robert Whittaker just lost to rank 13 RDR. So that's going to kick Robert Whittaker quite a ways down, and I think that's prime time for All-In Allen to get his hands on him. Brendan Allen is another goofy type of, archetype of fighter. Somebody who just doesn't look very technical, but he's very good grappler, as RDR was. And RDR didn't have that much success on the ground with Robert Whittaker. All his success came by clinching, and I don't think Brendan Allen has nearly as good a clinch as RDR, and I don't think he's as prominent there either. So very approachable for Whittaker. Not feeding him to the wolves here. This is a good matchup for where he's at in his career. So Robert Whittaker versus Brendan Allen, I think this is the proper fight to make. And we'll get into the next fight right now. Peter Yan had a very fun fight against Marcus McGee, where he then wet blanketed him in the 3rd round for 5 minutes. Ow, I just bit the fuck out of my cheek. Where he wet blanketed him for 4 minutes in that third round. Jeez Louise. But I think you can either do a Sean O'Malley rematch for Peter Yan, or you can just go ahead and give him the title shot. You could give him the winner of 320, Merab versus Corey Sandhagen, who I believe will be Merab Dvalishvili. You just give Merab another free title defense, another, shit, maybe Merab gets the 40, 50 takedowns this time. Maybe he doesn't fail them. Maybe he gets all of them. But I think it'll just be another. Oh my gosh, we're really gonna have to sit down and watch Merab get a dominant 50-45 for his next two fights over Corey Sandhagen and Peter Yan. Jeez Louise, Merab just might go down as top 3 GOATs of all time. This is actually insane. Who's beating this guy, man? Who's beating this guy? But give Peter Yan the title shot. He's on a 3-fight win streak, or 4. No, 3. We'll just give it to him, man. There's nothing else for him. So, Peter Yan versus the winner of 320. Let's run it. Let's run it back. Rematch, no matter who wins. Although if Corey Sandhagen wins, I think Merab deserves the rematch. Will they give it to him? Who knows? But either way, it'll be a rematch. Marcus McGee. Let's get into Marcus McGee. Lost a pretty fun fight against Peter Yan. He won one round. He won the first round, and he was kind of holding his own in the second. He doesn't look too bad. Marcus McGee really doesn't look too bad, but sadly he's a victim of his own success. He had 4 wins in the UFC. Kind of a hot prospect. Got jumped up the rankings extremely fast, but he's an aging contender as well. So it's kind of all or nothing for him. But right now, I hate to do this to him because I feel like he deserves more. But with the lacking of his wins, he beat Jonathan Martinez to get ranked. Jonathan Martinez isn't, he hasn't really. What has he shown as of recently to, really be ranked caliber? So we're gonna have to get Marcus McGee in there up against another aging, streaking contender right now, and that is, I hate to say it, Ronnie Barcelos. Ronnie, 3-fight win streak Barcelos, taking out every freaking prospect killer. We gotta give it to him, man. Ronnie Barcelos is on a 3-fight win streak right now. And, he's making quite a bit of a name for himself. And I think this is a good fight, a battle of the Brown Unks. Really going at it, throwing some hammers down on each other. Ronnie Barcelos, a really good grappler of his own right. Marcus McGee, a pretty power puncher. But Marcus McGee, he's ranked 13, it's not like he's fucking top 10, top 8, top 5. It's he's barely ranked and he's holding on by a fucking thread. So I think and I think he might be getting kicked soon with the Bryce Mitchell coming in to do his thing. So Marcus McGee, he's walking a fine line right now. You could make a whole bunch of matchups because not too many people at bantamweight are ranked right now. So there could be a whole bunch of shit going down. But Ronnie Barcelos, on a little 3-fight win streak, he deserves a 14th, 15th ranked opponent, which Marcus McGee might be in the next coming few weeks. I could see people winning and him getting booted down a few slots. So Marcus McGee versus Ronnie Barcelos, I think this is a good name for either one of them. Ronnie Barcelos is a good name on Marcus McGee's resume, and Marcus McGee is a great resume on Ronnie Barcelos. It's a great name on Ronnie Barcelos' resume. Let me sip on some orange juice real quick. On to the next fight, though. Magomed Sharipov. Sarapudin Magomedov, whatever the fuck his name is. Fraud checked by Marc-Andre Barriault. You're telling me you can't fucking out cold Marc-Andre Barriault in the first? Pussy. You're going to a war with a Canadian man, you fucking pussy. extremely lackluster win where he broke his nose, got even uglier. Um, uh, it's not the best win, but it is a win. And it's a win that Joe Pyfer has. Oh my gosh, never mind, bro. I have a terrible pick right here. I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm only really matchmaking this because I feel like I know that they're going to try and speed run this guy. But I got Magomedov versus Roman Kopylov. I mean, I want one of these guys gone, you know? I want one of these guys to for sure just never touch the rankings ever again. And I don't really care who it is, but Magomedov versus Roman Kopylov, fucking good versus evil, you know, or evil versus good. I just want one of these guys gone. Uh, I want one of these guys to never ever grace the rankings with their presence. I don't care if it's Roman Kopylov. I don't care if it's Magomedov. I don't have a bias on this side. I don't really care about either of these fighters, but if one of them has to stay, then one of them has to stay, and I want the other one gone. So Magomedov versus Roman Kopylov, who as well, again, might be getting kicked out of the rankings in the next few upcoming weeks. There's some few middleweight fights going down. I'm not too sure if there's any unranked ones though. So we'll see how it's going down. Maybe Marco Tulio has a fight coming up against against a ranked guy, but Kopylov might be kicked out of the rankings soon. So I think this is a very possible matchup to make. And on to the next fight though. Asu Amabayev got a win over honestly a lackluster win. A lackluster win over Jose Ochoa, who took this fight on short notice, unranked guy, 1-1 in the UFC, who's now 1-2. You know, I know records don't speak, records aren't much, but I mean, 9-9 in the world. Asu Amabayev is going up against fucking 1-2 Jose Ochoa, whose only win in the UFC is Cody Durden, who's 1-4 in his last 5. You know what I'm saying? Asu Amabayev, though, I think he has to prove himself. He can't fight up in the rankings, and fighting down, there's really, you know, I think that'll be a little bit too much of a can feeding, you know, giving him easy layup matchups. So people we know he's better than. I believe he is top 10 caliber. So with that being said, we got to give him a top 10 fighter, and that top 10 fighter is Tagir Ulianbekov, who just got a win over, I forget the chump's name, but a few weeks ago, Tagir Ulianbekov just got a pretty impressive win, scrappy win, controversial win as well. A few weeks ago, I forgot what card it was, but it was another early card. Ulianbekov, he's number 10 in the world. Asu Amabayev is number 9. Let's get one of these grapplers out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's progress one, get the fucking other ugly fuck out of here. I'd prefer Ulianbekov. He seems like a funny guy. Asu Amabayev just seems like not an NPC, but just just kind of like a prick. Asu Amabayev just seems like a fucking douche. Like, I don't want this guy in the fucking top 10. Fucking Tagir, yeah, at least, you know, he knows he's chopped. So, you know, he's a little fun. He's a little funny. He's a little slow. He's a little retarded. So, I like Ulianbekov. Let's get him a little grappler v grappler session going on. Who I think, you know, that's not a layup for either fighter. It's kind of a toss up. You know, who are you really gonna go with on this fight? But Asu Amabayev versus Tagir Ulianbekov, 9 versus 10, very plausible. They're on the same type of path as well. So I said we can make this fight. Let's get it done. On to the next fight. Bogdan Gushkov got a first round KO over Nikita Krylov. Now, there's some other stuff I would prefer to go down. Some other fights I'd like to see. But this is a fight that we kind of have to make. I had him matched up with not Johnny Walker. I had Bogdan Gushkov matched up against Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill's on a 3-fight losing streak. Bogdan Gushkov's on a pretty good tear right now. But I genuinely do believe they are saving Jamal Hill for Mingyang Zhang, who's fighting in about a month's time. I believe I do believe Ming Yang Zhang's gonna knock Johnny Walker the fuck out cold, and I believe they're gonna jump Ming Yang Zhang up against uh, Johnny Walker, not Johnny Walker, up against Jamal Hill. So I can't make that matchup. Instead, I've been saying this. I thought we should have made Azmat Mirzakhanov versus this guy, but they didn't. So we kind of have to go Bogdan Gushkov versus Jan Blachowicz. Look, guys, I want this Unk gone. I'm not kidding. I'm not joking. I really want this Unk gone. I really don't want him in the top 5 anymore. It makes the sport look bad. He hasn't really done anything besides fucking go to a split decision with Magomed Ankalaev, man. So I mean, he has to prove himself. If it's not, oh, sorry. If it's not Jan Blachowicz, then it has to be Carlos Ulberg. But I don't think they're gonna. I think they're holding out on a Carlos Ulberg on like a title shot. So short notice kind of thing. He's fighting the loser of a matchup. He's not really looking to fight barely hanging on Bogdan Gushkov, who was like 13th ranked in the world. I don't really think they're going to do Carlos Ulberg versus him. So Jan Blachowicz is on a losing streak. I think Bogdan Gushkov versus Jan Blachowicz is a good matchup. Good for Jan Blachowicz as well. Polish power, known for having a strong chin. Might be a little slower, but I don't think Bogdan Gushkov is that fast, that wiry anyway. So Bogdan Gushkov, 13 versus Jan Blachowicz, around top 10, top 5-ish, wherever he's ranked at. On to the next fight. Okay, I guess not. There we go. Bryce Mitchell versus. Hold on, let's not get into it yet. Bryce Mitchell got a good win over. Who did he beat? He beat Said Nurmagomedov in a pretty lackluster grappling session. Wet blanketed Said for quite a while. I was honestly really disappointed at times with this performance. I was thinking, why can't we pick up the pace? Why can't we throw some fucking ground and pound shots? Why can't we do something? I bet Demetrius Johnson was having a fucking wet dream, a field day over where he was at. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting! Look at him mix it up. Fuck out of here. I don't know. Sometimes some of the DJ's takes are kind of nerdy. But Bryce Mitchell got a good win over Said. I think Bryce Mitchell was just ranked at featherweight, man. I don't know why we're giving him unranked bantamweights. I think he deserves a jump up. I don't think he should be kicked out of the rankings for losing to Gene Silva. Think about it. Bryce Mitchell was kicked out of the rankings before Calvin Kattar was. That's disrespectful. But now, somebody's fucking what the fuck. But now he's in the bantamweight division. Let's give him a hardcore bantamweight, man. Let's give him. He wants to wrestle. He wants to grapple. Let's wrestle. Let's give him Henry fucking Cejudo, bro. Come on, dude. Come on, man. This is. I think we're gonna wear gloves, man. I think we're gonna get in the octagon together, man. Let's give him Henry Triple H Cejudo, triple champ. Henry Cejudo. I think this is a good fight. This is a good matchup. Henry Cejudo just got a TKO loss or doctor stoppage loss to Song Yadong. And I think Bryce Mitchell. I think Henry Cejudo's ranked 10. I think Bryce Mitchell deserves a rank 10. Said Nurmagomedov was like 16, 17 type ranked a fighter just outside the rankings. So if Bryce Mitchell, I think he's going to be on that 15th type spot. So I think you could do a Henry Cejudo versus Bryce Mitchell matchup, I think it's a name that Henry Cejudo's interested in. I believe he was tweeting as well during Bryce Mitchell's fights. And I think this is an extremely approachable fight for Henry Cejudo. He's a guy who's, a little bit slower, not really a little lanky, somebody who might be considered weak in the division. He had to cut down a lot of body mass to make this 135. So I think this is a prime target for Henry Cejudo to get back on that win streak. Everybody knows Bryce Mitchell. This will be a good name on Henry Cejudo's resume. So I think we could make this fight. On to the next fight. I think there's only one left. Muslim Salikov, man. Muslim Salikov had a really good performance over Carlos Leal. Carlos Leal is just kind of a dumb, ploddy, trotter, plodster. You know, he just walks in with bricks. Literally, Carlos Leal walks in with fucking cement blocks tied to his hands. Hands all the way down, walks in. Salikov was able to put him out cold with the right hand to the fucking forehead, sleep him out cold. Brutally. Salikov, he called out Wonder Boy. Fuck it, dude. Let's make the matchup. Unk versus Unk. One of them still got it, man. This fight is so hype. I've never seen a fighter matchmake a fight for themselves so well. At first, I was like, dude, you don't deserve a ranked opponent. You got KO'd by fucking Randy Brown. Did he get KO'd by Randy Brown? I'm pretty sure he did. It's like you don't deserve a ranked opponent. But then I was like, oh wait, Wonder Boy just got kicked. He just got kicked out the rankings. We could make this, you know. Wonder Boy's not the type to take it off to decline it either, you know. I think Wonder Boy sees, here's another striker. Here's a karate guy, a striker. He's an unk just like me. Ooh, I feel like that's prime Wonder Boy shit right there, man. And Salikov isn't a striker like fucking MVP. He's a different type of, you know, he's more gun ho. You know, he's not bounce back and forth, bounce back and forth. You know, he's a different type of karate guy. So I think this will be a great fight. Very approachable for Wonder Boy, very approachable for Salikov. Salikov likes to take off a lot of time in between his fights, get healthy, get right. So does Wonder Boy. Wonder Boy just had a fucking split in the shin down to the bone. Salikov likes to take time off. Wonder Boy's going to need some time off. I think we can make this fight sometime, honestly, end of the year kind of thing. 6 months away, 5 months away. I think this will be a good matchup for the two. Very fun too. I would like to see this. You could put this on the opening of like a pay-per-view, and I wouldn't mind whatsoever. Hardcores know that this is gonna be a fucking banger of a fight on the opening as the opening fight for a pay-per-view. I think that'd be awesome. But thank y'all for watching. I went 8-4 on this card. I guess I should have put this on my last video, not this video, but hope y'all enjoyed the video, man. Hope y'all enjoyed. If y'all disagree with any of my takes or agree with any of my takes, let me know in the comments below. Leave a like, leave a comment. If you're subscribed, if you're new. And I appreciate y'all for watching, man. I appreciate y'all for staying tuned. More videos coming soon. So, you know, don't doubt your boy. But appreciate y'all for watching, man. I'll make some video throughout the week. This video should be coming out Sunday. So I'll see what I could cook up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Appreciate y'all. Thank you. Have a good night.